What's up, guys? Shay Stevens here, PDGA number 77522, and today we're taking a look at the MVP Fission Reactor. Let's get to it. Before we get down to business, I just wanted to remind you guys to click like on the video if you like what you're seeing, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, it really helps me out, and be sure to click that notification bell so you can see when I'm uploading. I try to put a video out at least once a week, and I thank you guys for all the support. Let's get back to the video. So I've said over and over, I am a Fission fanatic. Fission blend of plastic is my favorite plastic for MVP, so when I heard we were getting a mid-range in it, I was so excited. The Reactor is a stable mid-range. I believe MVP Steve said it the best when he was on the Trevor Staub show. MVP has two stable mid-ranges. For your higher arm speed, you're going to like the Reactor. Your lower arm speeds are going to probably drift towards the Hex. I've been throwing the Hex and really like it, but it's kind of starting to flip more and more for me. It has a great listing anhyzer, but the problem is I need something to go straight, so that means I have to throw a hyzer flip on it. And as I've said before, my hyzer flip game has been hurting a bit, so I've been having some trouble. So to get my hands back on the Reactor, I was looking forward to it. The flight numbers on the Fission Reactor are a speed of 5, glide of 5, turn of -0.5, and a fade of 1.5. So great stable mid-range, feels really good in my hand. I love to throw fan grips on all my middies, so this thing just slots in really nice. That Fission plastic they talked about, nice and gummy. Again, it's got some great give. Not that rock hard stuff they accidentally made for run 2. So really looking forward to it. So let's get out to the field and see how it flies. Back out of the fields, we are dealing with a bit of a crosswind, and it's a bit muddy. Starting off, I wanted to throw the 163 gram Reactor on hyzer, just kind of test the stability. Does get a little bit of flip on it and ride, so yeah, not overly stable. It's about what I'm expecting from a Reactor. On to flat shots, I'm starting with the 174 gram Reactor. I do get over on it a little bit, and the crosswind does hold it, but this is a real tight, really long S-shot. Up next, I have the 163 gram. Get this one a little bit flatter. Has a great push forward and that reliable Reactor fade, but that went pretty darn far. And one last flat throw. I wanted to take another shot with that 174 gram. Keep this one much more flat. Nice, straight. Another deep fade, and again, pretty darn far. On to anhyzers. Taking the 174 gram up nice and high with some angle, and the pan on this thing is great. Fights back at the very end to get that little stretch of distance. Up next, an anhyzer with the 163 gram. You see, holds that pan again. This is going into a crosswind too, so it's really impressive how that disc fights. And this one's from the end of my session. Want to go for a max distance shot here. So I take that 174 gram, give it a little bit of angle, get a nice full flex. That won't push out to about 330. Now on forehand, you definitely can see the difference in the weights here. This is a 163 gram. Doesn't fight the torque as well. It flips over. Rides wonderfully though. Now the 174 gram Fission Reactor gives me a little more of a traditional forehand flight. Start on hyzer, flip to flat, and you get that nice fade at the end. So as you probably guessed, I threw these discs on the same day I threw the Terra for that review, and conditions weren't that great. The field was a little muddy, crosswind was making things interesting, but still, I really enjoyed throwing these Reactors. The stability on them was really impressive. I really liked, especially those turnovers into the wind. They didn't just turn over and burn. They just pushed so darn straight and then dump, and the 163 gram is really crazy, just how true that thing flies, just dead straight. And when it slows down, you get that dump, but it was really impressing me with the distance. So I also took these two down with me to Sedgley Woods for that tag session over the weekend and gave them some throws in them holes. So let's see them in action on the course. Starting off hole 10, Sedgley Woods from the blue tees. The Reactor makes a great utility forehand disc, especially if you're not comfortable with a putter and you want something with a little more torque resistance. The Reactor will definitely fill that role. Hole 12 from the blue tees, I took the 163 gram Fission Reactor and pured this gap. This one felt so good. Ended up sliding right under the basket. Holy team from the Reds, the reactor shapes up perfectly. I can actually push this right side gap, knowing the reactor is going to fly nice and straight, but that fade is going to kick in, swing me around the last guardian tree, and get me onto the green for a birdie. And the Fission Reactor had already done such a great job selling itself, but this shot on hole 19 was, the final nail in the coffin. Hit it with a little anhyzer, rides the fairway beautifully, and this is the best drive I've ever had on the hole. So you probably saw when I showed you my grip, my name and number are on this disc for a reason. It's in the bag. I got both other reactors there now. I've kicked the hex out for now. I'm going with an uplink for my turnovers. But this is just such a straight and reliable mid-range. It's something I can be confident in, and Lord knows I need confidence right now, but especially this 163 gram, I am jamming on it, guys. Do not be afraid to try this reactor out in lighter weight and fission. It flies so true, and it's not flippy. That anhyzer shot, especially on 19, loved how it just held the angle and drifted so beautifully. Like, that's one of those, like, I think the panning anhyzer shot's like the most beautiful shot to watch. This thing is a work of art. So, big shout out to MVP. Thank you for giving us this disc. Again, thank you also for reworking the Fission plastic. The grip is great on this thing. I can really get my hand to it and really grip it. I'm looking forward to playing. I have a rainy round probably tomorrow, and I'm going to feel confident being able to hold on to this disc. So, yeah, guys, definitely, especially people with a bit of a faster arm, try the reactor out if you haven't done so. I don't know what you're waiting on, and don't be afraid to throw it in something a little heavier. If you have a slower arm speed, this will probably serve more as a stable to overstable mid-range for you, but definitely has a place, especially with the Fission plastic option. Getting it in a lighter weight will make it more workable for you. So, yeah, this is an awesome disc. So definitely be sure to check it out. It should be dropping in a couple months. It'll be on retailer shelves, and it is worth getting. I'm going to be stocking up on more. So thank you once again to MVP for sending these off for me to take a look at. If you guys have any questions, reach out to me. I'll do my best to answer them. Take care. Thank you for watching this review of the MVP Fission Reactor. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this and other disc golf content. Lastly, thank you to my sponsors. For all your disc golf needs, check out Phoenix Discs and Basket Bashers Disc Golf.